So, welcome back to another video. Manchester City are, of course, in for Erling Haaland, the Norwegian beast of a striker, the Dortmund striker, and it's going to be a very interesting few months, isn't it? So today, I thought I'd do a little video talking about my honest thoughts on this transfer, my honest thoughts on the player, and all that kind of stuff. Run through where my head is at in this saga. Before I do that, though, I want to say thank you to OneFootball for being absolutely awesome. If you haven't downloaded OneFootball already, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below, download OneFootball, scan that QR code next to my face, and get the best football app on the market straight to your phone. Over 10 million people have used it, downloaded it for a reason, because it's free, it's fantastic, all the stats information, and of course, you can keep up to date with all the transfer news and the gossip from across the world of football. It's wonderful. Like Erling Haaland, like you, download it right now and help support my channel a little bit as well. Thank you very much to OneFootball once again. So this video today, basically, I just wanted to talk a little bit of Haaland because we're in this kind of like, international break now. It's about to end, of course, but we're kind of like floating through it now. And at the end of this, usually all the transfer rumors die down a little bit. But we saw a little bit of information again arise up today on the internet. There was some news from Rob Dawson at ESPN who said that City are optimistic that they can beat Real Madrid in this potential transfer. Madrid allegedly, according to Rodrigo Faiz and Rob Dawson at ESPN, are pessimistic about the chances because they think City have got a better chance. And City, according to Rob Dawson at ESPN, believe that working with Pep Guardiola is a massive, massive draw for Erling Haaland. And the idea, a release fee clause, wouldn't be a big deal to put into the contract if it was the right one, of course. So essentially, all the information points towards City being very positive about it. Now, as for me, of course, I mess around with the Haaland hype train on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. You never really know. But my honest opinion about Haaland is I'm reasonably confident. I am reasonably confident. I mean, ultimately in football, I've been burned so many times with so many players that I want that I can kind of get over it if it doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world. And I think the reason I'm so relaxed about this particular transfer is because we've already signed Julian Alvarez, who's now starting for Argentina, now scoring for Argentina as well the other day. A nice little goal after some wonderful Messi play, of course. So we've already got a striker in, So I'm already happy that we've already strengthened our squad for next season anyway, because I do believe he will come in. So for me, Haaland is like this big, beautiful cherry on top of the cake that's already there. And like, I am very relaxed. Of course, Haaland is different to Alvarez. He's on another level in terms of current profile and maybe even ability and so on. But I guess I'm relaxed because I think we've already strengthened in a place. And I do have trust that Alvarez is going to be a fantastic player for Manchester City. So considering that, Haaland is just, I'm chill, man. I'm absolutely chill about it. And I know that sounds crazy because he's one of the best young players in world football, probably one of the best players in world football already. But I am relaxed about it. And I'm relaxed also because I feel pretty confident. And I know we've been here with Kane, we've been here with Messi, we've been here with Dani Alves and Jorginho and Sanchez and so many players who were close to coming but never did come. But that's football, that is football. Sometimes players don't come, and I absolutely am not going to get too upset over that anymore because we've been burned enough. And bearing that in mind, all those things in mind, I'll explain why I'm confident. Now, for me personally, you hear rumours every now and then. You do. I haven't heard anything direct from anyone close to this camp, but one of the in-the-knows, the Manchester City in-the-knows, did tell me that he believed Erling's camp had told Man City yes. And he's pretty much posting that on forums now as well. You don't have to believe that, but I've got no reason this person would lie to me directly. No reason to believe that. I don't think they are lying to me directly. There are, of course, many things that can happen between a player saying, yep, I'm moving to your club, and actually signing the contract. That's where I will always park my full conviction until that contract is signed, because things can change so quickly in football. Someone could wake up one day and just fancy living in Spain. Who knows what happens? The world can change an awful lot, and things can change very quickly. So I always kind of try and be calm as possible until it's actually signed. But if you ask me right now, is it likely that Haaland comes to Manchester City? I wouldn't say likely is a tough word, but do I believe it's very, very possible? And City are probably in the driving seat, and that maybe Haaland has actually maybe told City that he agrees with their offer for sporting reasons and so on. Yeah, I think it's very possible. It was telling for me that Ian Hart, if you don't know who he is, he's an let me just Google the quotes 1 second. He's an ex-Leeds left-back. He played in the same team as Alfie Haaland, so he's Alfie, which is Erling's dad, of course, Alfie's mate. And he said He said, this is his quote. He said, "I hope he comes to the Premier League over a team in Spain. Don't get me wrong, I used to love watching Madrid and Barca playing. I used to play over there myself, but I don't think Spanish football is the same as what it used to be. A Premier League is vitally important for top players, and the Premier League would be delighted to have someone like Haaland playing in it." I said, "I speak to 𝐼𝐿𝐼 and they know already where he's going. They're biting their tongues at the moment before they release where he's going." It's so weird to hear him say that, a guy who knows Haaland, when I was told 2 months ago now, a month and a half ago, in February, that they already know where he's going and they've already told. It's like matches up entirely. He matches up entirely. And when you consider the quotes from Dortmund where they said, "We've seen the money City are offering, we can't stop Man City." You know, it's Dortmund always say, "We can't stop Man City," by the way. It's not "we can't stop Madrid," it's always "we can't stop Man City." All that, all these little rumours, loads of journalists saying the same thing. We're starting to see rumours as well. Madrid, we're starting to see rumours about the money that City is spending and all that kind of stuff, which is usually a good indicator of it's like it's filtered through saying, "Oh, we can't compete with City because the money's insane. City are the bad guys in this." That's coming from Madrid's side, in my opinion. So we're starting to see all this kind of stuff, which is really interesting. So I think all the stars are aligning. City need a striker. City are the best sporting project right now. We just are. I'm sorry. He fits into this team perfectly. There are issues potentially with egos. If Real Madrid get Mbappe, they've got Benzema. How do you drop Benzema after this season? Vinicius already. So Haaland isn't guaranteed to start at Madrid, which is he will do, but it's not guaranteed to be smooth sailing. It's not guaranteed that he joins a team that's going to compete for the Champions League. Of course, with him there, it could be. But under Man City, under Guardiola, he's guaranteed to be in that team, and he's guaranteed to be a starter because we do need a striker. And there's an element of him coming back to the Premier League where his dad made it at a good age, with a potential future elsewhere if he wants to. The timing just seems to work for absolutely everyone right now. He gets these golden formative years in the Premier League, and then if he wants to move on to La Liga one day, I think City would say to him, "We'll let you do that if you want to." And I think City have got conviction in saying that. Real Madrid have absolutely... for what it's worth, I guess the point I'm making is I think Haaland wants to play in the Premier League and in La Liga. I think he wants to play in both because La Liga's La Liga, Premier League's Premier League. It's easier to go from Premier League to La Liga than it is from La Liga to the Premier League because there's absolutely no trend or pathway that's been trodden or tread by players leaving Madrid to go to the Premier League unless they really run the contracts down and it gets messy and it's disgusting or whatever. Whereas with the Premier League, players leave Premier League clubs all the time to go to Barca or Real Madrid over the years. City, of course, as well. Well, they have proof that they will let players go if they want to. Ferran Torres, Leroy Sané. Which, of course, is painful at the time as a Manchester City fan, and we go, "Why are we letting them go for this money?" But I guess the point I'm making, in the long haul, they're showing that their word is their word, and that their bond is their bond, and that if a player wants to go, if you get the right money, they can do it. So if you're Erling Haaland right now, and you're thinking, "I want to play in both leagues," if you go Man City, you probably will also get to play in the Liga if you want to one day. If you go to Real Madrid, there's no guarantee that they'll let you go, and you get stuck there, and it could be great, but it also could be a lot more convoluted. And when you're only the age he is, you're only relatively young, and you want to play in the Premier League, and you've got those connections to Manchester City, and you've got the guaranteed supply line. He's only 21, of course, supply line of Haaland and Foden and so on. And you've got Guardiola, and you've got the fact that he wore, a Balotelli shirt as a kid, and you've got his dad's influence, and the fact that it's a sporting project, and the fact that he can get to the other clubs. It just makes so much sense for everyone involved. It really, really does. Now, everyone would obviously counter that by going, "Why do you want to sign a player who already wants to go?" Like, no, not wanting to. It's not the same thing. It's like not wanting to go. It's more keeping his options open for his career because you never know how happy you're going to be somewhere. It's common sense. You're not going to say, "I'm going to sign a club and be there for 10 years. Kompany didn't say that. Aguero didn't say that. Silva, Yaya, all these people didn't expect to be there for a decade. It just happened because it worked. The point is, no player joins someone expecting to be there for the rest of their life. Football isn't like that, and that's totally fine. You have ambitions, you have goals, you have experiences that you want to have. So I'm absolutely relaxed with the idea of Haaland maybe one day wanting to go to La Liga. The point is, get him in and worry about that later. I don't for one second believe this 3-year contract thing that everyone keeps talking about. I'm sorry, it ain't true. City aren't going to sign a player with this much money and put it as a 3-year contract. There's no big club in the world that accept that for a young player with the value of the financial package that Manchester City would put into Haaland. No one will do that. No one would do that. It's just silly. It's absolutely silly. So I don't believe that's true. I do think it's possible that he could negotiate a release fee clause or something, but I'm sure if he did, it'd be insanely high and we'd make a massive profit on the guy. And you know what? We're going to get him for 65 million or something like that because of his release fee clause. If you want to get one of that, I'm sure City will say, we'll put it at 200 million and then we'll talk. You know, I don't know what it'd be, but I'm sure it'd be reasonable and City would make a massive profit. And you know what? If that happens, so be it. At least he'd be going to, La Liga and we'd have to worry about it later. But what I would say is get him in. Make him fall in love with the club in the way that Sergio did, Yaya did, Silva did, Vinny did, all these people. Kevin De Bruyne has. He's been here for nearly 7 years now, don't forget. He joined in 2015. You forget how long some of these players have been here. This club, for whatever reason, maybe we're not the traditionally most attractive, but when they get there, these players like it here. They do. And I would say it's because they're treated like adults. I would say it's stability. I would say it's the way they're welcomed at the club. I would say it's the way that they're treated by the fans and the city. In general, I think players don't realise how good it is to be at Manchester City until they're there. And of course, every now and then one will want to leave. But largely, these players that we love, they hang around. And I love that. Of course, there's exceptions. There will always be exceptions. But largely, players do like it here. So I think City's attitude will be, get him in, be honest about his future, get him in, get the goals, and convince him to stay through love and familiarity and consistency. And who knows, at this point, in 3 or 4 years, Real Madrid might be a mess. City might be winning Champions Leagues. He might like, I'm not going to them. And he might just decide he likes it here anyway. You might settle down with some mank misses like Vinny did and be very happy. So the point I'm making is worry about it later. Better to love and lost than never loved at all. And in that interim anyway, if you left in 3 or 4 years, I'm sure he probably would have scored 150 goals or something insane anyway. We might win a Champions League. Who really cares? We'll make a shit ton of money and we'll replace him with someone else. So I guess that's my honest opinion there. I don't care about what could happen in 4 years' time. I just want this Man City fan, and he is a City fan. I'm not saying he's a dyed-in-the-wool season ticket holder, but he was literally in a Man City supporters group, the Norwegian one. He literally wore City shirts as a kid. His dad literally played for City. Clearly he cares about the club. Clearly he does. So in that instance, get him in, worry about it later, get the goals, convince him to stay in the long term, and make a statement signing. This signing would be absolutely huge for Manchester City. And I do think it's possible. I do. And I know so many people are going to tell me I'm getting carried away or so on, but I don't think I am. I don't think this is an emotional reaction. In fact, I think I'm approaching it really logically. I'm reading all the cues and information from the press. I'm reading all the hints that align with what I've been personally told. And I'm also thinking about how logical it is for him to join Man City now in terms of his pathway and his career development. Haaland to Man City might not happen. But the idea that he comes here, it's not irrational. It's not emotional. In fact, it makes an awful lot of sense. And for that reason, my honest opinion about Erling Haaland is I think it's a very good chance he could be a Man City player next season. And how exciting is that? Guys, do let me know down in the comments what you make of this, where you're at and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I appreciate every single one of yours opinion. And if you want to be negative still, I absolutely understand that too. We've been hurt. I get it. But relax. Enjoy it. I like transfer gossip. I find it fun. And football, where we're at now, City, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the patrons and the YouTube members scrolling down the bottom of the video, of course. These guys are my lifeblood. So thank you so much. Patreon.com/Esteemed Company or YouTube.com/Esteemed Company/join if you want to become a member too. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back later for another video in a bit. Down on One Football.